Thank you for visiting ShipRaiders.com. Today we're taking a look at the 2015 PSAC Men's Track and Field Championships being held this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, up at Edinboro. We're joined by Dave Osanitsch, the head coach. Thanks, Coach O, for joining us.
Sure, no problem, Bill.
Your men's team has had a lot of success in recent years. You have a very talented group of performers. It happens to be almost senior heavy a little bit this year, too. You have a lot of high-end leadership as well.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about what the dynamic has been like for this men's team this year? I'm sure they get along really well together, and just they're there for one another, and
Sure.
you're competing really well.
Sure, we're really excited about what this team is going to. We had a lot of high expectations coming into the season with the men's team, and we are senior heavy, and we have some grad students and things of that nature. So they really got together at the beginning of the season and set some really lofty goals. And they've been doing a really good job of kind of checking them off as we've been going along. The indoor season has been interesting with the weather. It's been a challenge. Even though we're indoor track, we still try to get outdoors a lot for training because of facilities. But because of the weather being the way it's been, we've had to have a lot of communication coordination between the different event groups. And having a senior heavy team really helped because they understand what we needed to go through to prepare properly. And they did a great job. As always, we started off slow, like we always do, and we want to obviously peak them at the right time. And again, they knew to be calm in the beginning because they know they weren't going to be running super fast at the beginning or throwing far or jumping far and things of that nature. And now we're starting to peak at the right time, like we usually do.
One of the things to me that's so fascinating about the men's team is that, in order to have a success as a group, you need to have sometimes proper motivation and the ability to want to compete. It seems like there's such a friendly but still competitive nature among your team that, they're all competing, everybody's competing for the same goal, but you have such a talented group, and especially in certain areas, that they're all competing against each other and they're almost a friendly competition at the same time, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting, Bill. Yeah, sometimes you can get a lot of animosity on a team when you have very talented people in the same positions, but we seem to be the norm from that. They work really well together, they push each other, and I think they realize that person in practice is just as good as them, can push them harder and farther, so I think that's been a really big advantage for us that, and that they have worked so well together. We really push the team concept here in track and field, and that's not everywhere. And I think that really helps us because they look at it more like a team situation rather than an individual situation, and that's really been one of the secrets to what has been working for us over the last decade.
And in order to have success at the PSAC Championships, it helps too to have depth in a variety of areas. And
Sure.
If you could speak a little bit to the fact that you have a lot of talented people on the track, but you also have people who've shown themselves across the board in the field as well.
Absolutely, yeah. You really try to design your program that you have depth in all areas, and you try not to be one-dimensional because then you're taking points away from yourself. So we try to, the men's team is a prime example of that right now, where we have a point score pretty much in every event. So and that's really how you build a program and win championships is just having good depth across the way. But yeah, we have just as much, we talk so much about the track, but we have so much talent in the field as well. And it's great. Everybody interacts really well, and it's just been a great formula, and I'm just trying to enjoy it because, it may not be like this forever. So, I'm getting to that point in my career now that I try to take a step back and just kind of absorb all the great people around me and coaches and student athletes and enjoy the moment a little bit.
And one of the things about the PSAC Championships, too, it's a whole lot of activity crammed into a two-day meet.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you stress in this final week leading up to the conference championships? Obviously, a lot of track preparation is predicated on routine and the familiarity with training and practice, but at the same time, I'm sure the nerves get a little bit more going because you know that you're competing for all the marbles here over the course of 2 days. Is there anything you stress or anything that you want to make sure gets across in the lead up here?
No, basically we follow the same formula that we have been, as we talk about that, they don't have to go into the meet with the whole meet on their shoulders. There's not like one or two individuals that have to get it done, for us to have success. So that they're really fortunate in that respect that I don't think they feel that pressure. And also being a senior and junior heavy team, I think so many have been there before. So they go in there and they're not kind of shell-shocked by the overwhelming PSAC atmosphere. They're like, well, we've done this before, we know what to expect. And I think that really helps. Couple those things together with, having experience and having depth, I don't think that they get overwhelmed and then a couple people feel the pressure. The other thing, too, we really stress about is staying healthy. We really talk about, staying away from illness, and really being self-diligent and things like that so we're healthy when we get to the meet. So that seems to have really, gotten into their minds. And training-wise, they're all feeling really great right now. I can see it at practice right now. We've gotten it down to a science of, with periodization of when to bring and back them off, and we're starting to back them off, and already I can see them becoming more explosive, and that's exciting. I'm excited to see what this team does with a little bit of rest, because we train them all the time. We don't really back off for meets until now. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. I'm very excited.
Yeah, a lot of potential and a lot to be excited about. So
Absolutely.
best of luck this weekend.
Well, thank you.
Safe trips up to Edinboro too.
Oh,
the,
yes.
the heat is back in the Dome. I
We're
guess, this
excited.
year.
Andy Carlson up there promises that the Dome is ready to go, so we're excited to make the trip out west and see what we can do.
Best of luck to you, Coach O. Thanks for joining us, and
Thanks,
thank you for visiting ShipRaiders.com. For more information on the PSAC Championships, be sure to visit the website over the course of the weekend.